You bet. Hello, everybody, and welcome here to game number 2 for MO WIFF. I am Ken Bone alongside Tom Wilkerson to bring this to you. Game 2 versus the Bombers versus the Thunderbirds. Game 1 was a dramatic, fantastic game. We had the Bombers going down 1-0 to the Thunderbirds. Brody Livingston making his debut. Complete game, no-hitter, allowing only 1 walk, 12 strikeouts. And that 1 run that won him the game, he drove that in as well. A home run for Livingston in his debut. Just an amazing game. That takes the Bombers to 4-2 and improves the Thunderbirds to 2-4 as we get ready for their second game here.
Well, Ken, it's great to be with you tonight. We got to see some really good wiffle ball this last game before as Doolin. Looks like Doolin might be starting game 2. Take the graphic down here for you.
Yeah, that'd be a big night for Doolin. He pitched game 1 for the Bombers as well, allowing only 1 run on 2 hits with 10 strikeouts in 4 innings and 2 walks.
Here we go.
So he pitched a very good game as well.
Oh, my goodness, to lead off the game. Oh. What a play. What a play.
Livingston nearly comes up with his second home run on only his 5th at-bat. This time, Cam would not be denied. Brody's first home run was very, very nearly caught by Cam. It did a little curveball action. I'll take it. Sorry, the boys in the truck had a question about the tech that we're using to bring the game to you here, as we have Dominic Satrowski up now.
Yeah, Dom's been, this is his second year. He's been a tough out in his 2 years playing for MO WIFF.
Yeah, Dom Satrowski, he's your reigning Rookie of the Year. Had a monstrous year in his debut season.
The Thunderbirds as a whole has had a little bit of problems with the bats, but Brody Livingston's definitely woke them up tonight.
Oh, absolutely. So you're the leading hitter coming into tonight for the Thunderbirds would have been Andrew Nichols, everybody's favorite quiet superstar in this league. He's the only T-Bird batting over 100.
Yep, no Andrew Nichols tonight.
Yeah, not having Andrew is always going to be a big drag on any team.
So just to recap, starting the inning off, Brody Livingston goes deep again, but it gets caught at the fence in his first at-bat in game 2 after winning game 1 with his home run in the second inning or third inning.
Yeah, he is right on every single pitch. There was one at-bat in the first game where he looked a little over-anxious, but besides that, he has been extremely tight on the ball.
We got 2 away here in the top of the first inning. Game 2, Bombers, Thunderbirds. Division clash. National division. Wow, what a pitch.
This is a hugely important division matchup here, with the T-Birds being in 3rd coming into the game, coming into tonight, and the Bombers being in 1st place. But now the Bombers drop to 4-2. And the T-Birds, I've got different numbers here coming from the website, would improve to 3-3 with the last game. It was right off the front page of the website.
You're right. I stand corrected. Sorry about that.
Apologies.
Yeah, my apologies.
Our statisticians earlier, including me, were not paying attention.
3-3.
T-Birds improved to 3-3 now.
So Doolin does like to throw that riser slider down the low part of the zone, hoping to catch the bottom, and he has gotten hit a little bit. Last game gave up a hit, home run actually, but there was a few more balls put in play than I expected, really. You know, I think Weiner had a couple in play. Will and Brink had one in play. I mean, usually when a guy's throwing 93, 94 miles per hour, you don't see that much action.
Yeah, there's a lot more contact than we would have expected. Of course, you know, it was a no-hitter.
It was.
But that many guys to be on it was extremely surprising. The Bombers really struggling at the plate this year themselves, hitting .056 as a team, no homers, The league average, excuse me, the league average is 105. They have scored only 9 runs in their 5 games coming into tonight.
I mean, kid, you're talking about a 4-1 team that had 3 hits total in their 4 wins.
Yeah.
There's strike 3 to end the inning.
They have only 9 runs coming into tonight, 4 of those being scored in the bases loaded extra innings. So only 5 regulation runs.
And we're going to go to a
Mo
break. We'll
WIFF
be
is
right back.
brought to you by Audi Exchange in Kirkwood. They offer an extensive range of both new and pre-owned vehicles, ensuring that every customer finds a perfect car to fit their needs. In addition to their diverse inventory, they are committed to top-notch vehicle care and excellent maintenance. Call them today at 314-270-1165. Inkspot Tattoo Shop, the premier tattoo and piercing shop located at 10 Ellis Avenue in Troy, Missouri. Call 636-528-9465 to book today. Mo WIFF is Big Dave approved.
And we're back as we go into the bottom of the first inning. Ken Bone, glad to be with you. I'm Tom Wilkerson, and we are live at Miracle Field here on a beautiful Thursday night.
Oh, it's fantastic conditions for wiffle ball out here at Catch 22 Miracle Field in Chesterfield. It is a little warmer than we would have liked, but the sun is covered up with some very friendly clouds right now. A bit windy for wiffle ball, but overall great conditions. Our first completely rain-free Thursday, it feels like. Nobody scrambling to put tarps over the cameras or rushing to get into the dugout.
So if you've been a fan of Mo WIFF for the last few years, you've probably noticed the broadcast changing over time, and now this year here we have multiple camera angles, the radar gun on the home screen, so you can see how fast some of the guys are throwing in this league. And it's kind of crazy to believe it, but last game we had 2 guys throwing in the low 90s. One with a 92, 93 mile per hour screwball, which is national caliber. Brody Livingston, national caliber, throwing from the left side, 91 mile per hour screwball. Just crazy talent this year in Mo WIFF, all the way across the board, including your guy, Wheeler, who's been incredible this year.
Yeah, Josh Wheeler has pitched 17 innings now, allowing, I believe, 5 runs, and yet he's 1-2.
Yeah,
we got to get him a little more run support. But that's how tight the competition is in this league right now. So I have some stats for the league here as we get ready to see Ethan Weiner lead off for the Bombers. So of 24 completed games, we now have 12 1-0 decisions.
Wow.
So 50% of our games are decided by 1 run. The average margin of victory is only 2 runs for those 24 games, a little bit less than 2 runs. Only 2 of our games of those 24 have been decided by over 5 runs. That's how competitive this league is and the caliber of pitching we have. Everybody, knows that a wiffle ball bat is light. It's easy to swing. But when you got guys throwing in the 90s from only 48 feet away, that gives you less reaction time than a major league fastball with, oh, by the way, about 3 feet of vertical or horizontal break, or maybe both.
That's true. That's a good point.
Ethan watches that one go by. His incredible footwork, we'll call it, causes him to be one of the few opposite field specialists we have here at Mo WIFF.
When he's on, he's a tough out, but everything's to the right side, everything. And you're right. It's the way he walks into the ball, the way he twists his body and walks into the ball, and he gets to see the ball for that quick extra second, and then he usually, he'll put the ball in play twice last game.
Yeah, Ethan Weiner leads the Bombers in hitting this year, hitting 143 with a 478 on-base percentage. For his career, he's even better with a 218 average. Here's Captain Cam Smith actually looking for his first hit on the year.
Yeah, surprising. We talked about that before the broadcast. Here's a guy who's been one of the best hitters in Mo WIFF since its inception, and he just hasn't found himself this year. He put the ball in play last game, but it was right back to the pitcher. It's a shortstop. I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, Cam Smith in Game 1 went 0 for 4 with 3 Ks and then 1 right back to the pitcher.
Now, keep in mind, Cam's helped this team a bunch with his walks this year. I think he, at one point, was leading the league in walks or close to it.
Yeah, Cam is he's still contributing, absolutely. His on-base percentage on the year is 304.
Yeah.
So when you're still getting on base, you're still contributing to the team. When pitching is as tight as it is in this league, getting on base anyway is a a huge, huge contribution.
Well, and here, there's no rest for the weary anymore. I mean, here you come into the night, and if you're the Bombers, you think we get Brody Livingston in game 1, and you get Spencer Foss, who was pitcher of the week 2 weeks ago in game 2. And on the flip side of it, you get Ben Doolin in back-to-back games. I mean, it's a tough league to hit.
Oh, absolutely. Every team has a fantastic number 2. I mean, it's basically every team for pitching is an ace and a 1B at this point. There are no free passes being handed out.
There's our overview camera. If we have anything put in play, we'll try to make sure and get to that.
As a Spencer Foss on the year so far has pitched 11 innings plus a couple outs here, allowing 0 runs on 1 hit. And that's, with Brody being here, that's your number 2 guy.
Yeah, it's crazy. The one thing this league does have, too, you have NWA, which is in town, so you've got a lot of these guys that are pitching in Mo WIFF are pitching in NWA, so they're getting plenty of pitching in. So therefore they're not throwing many balls. It's just making everybody better.
Well, absolutely. I could not be any happier with the development of this league over the last several years. It's always been a competitive league, but this year we're seeing just the absolute peak of parity and competition, and the pitching is just unbelievable.
Well, here is the first at-bat where Spencer has fallen behind 4-1. Nice pitch. Full count here.
Spencer to deliver on the full count. Oh, and he does not go. Spencer's not messing with that 56 and under pitch, not wanting to break his rhythm. He'll go ahead and put the young man, Ben Doolin, on second base.
And we apologize, our center field camera is frozen up at the moment. We can't use that center field view, but that will be part of the broadcast every week. It's really windy tonight. I think that's part of the issues we're running into. It'd be the way we thank Jason Worsenholm and Brian Hunter for what they've done to help this broadcast get better.
The behind-the-scenes work that they've put in has just been incredible.
Yes.
I know they both do a lot on camera with 3 up, 3 down, and you can't even pin Jason's contribution or Brian's down to any single project. It's not just the podcast. It's not just Fastpitch. They have their hands in everything, making these broadcasts happen and making sure that we have content to bring to you every single day of the week for the entire season. Oh, Brian Hunter with a valiant diving play there, putting all 3.5 feet of his reach to use, but it's just not quite enough. Come up with that one, so that's going to be a base hit.
First and third. Things get interesting now. Ethan Weiner is definitely a guy that can put one in play.
As I mentioned before, Ethan is leading the charge for the Bombers in hitting.
Someone said air on that. No chance. That was a good hit.
No, I can't charge an error to a guy who would have had to make a diving play to stop it.
That's crazy. So with 2 outs, man, Spencer's really going to have to bear down here. 1-1 count.
Big pressure on Ethan here as he adjusts the equipment. That one is low for a ball. 2-1 count now to Ethan Weiner, and possibly my favorite hat in the league. High for 3-1.
Boy, Ethan plays a lot of wiffle ball. He's going to play East Coast wiffle ball with Justin Hall, I hear. Coming up here soon. He plays in Mall and also here in Mo WIFF. Does some video work for MLW. He's big in the wiffle ball community around the country.
Oh, yeah, he's huge, even a bigger presence on the East Coast than he is here as he waves at that one.
Yeah, he wishes he had that swing back. I mean, that was right down the middle.
Just wasn't where he was expecting it. It's a mental game as much as anything out here. And Spencer Foss is a very smart pitcher.
You can see here they've got 1 fielder on the left side and 3 on the right.
Yeah, Ethan, a big-time opposite field guy. You see the fancy footwork that he does there. That helps him to wait on the ball. It's all part of his timing.
Full count. Now he's going to have to pitch to him here. Now this is where it gets interesting with first and third.
Big decision here for Foss. He says he's going to throw.
Yeah, he really doesn't have a choice here, if you ask me.
Yeah, you don't want to let your first run of the year be driven in on a double walk. But Ethan is a huge threat, especially with these 56 and under pitches.
You got 4 pitches here, 56 and under. So watch the radar gun on the right side. If it's over 56, it's an automatic ball. If it's an out. And you'll see stuff like that happen where they foul pitches off. They're not going to take a chance.
Now you got to protect the plate here. 1 strike and you are done in these 56 and under pitches. That's the second. That's 2. As Ethan directs one over towards the gallery. Gets some disapproval there. That's 3.
That came in a little hot. That was 50 or 60 miles an hour.
There's a foul. We cannot end the at-bat on a foul, so he's going to get another one.
That's the only way you get another pitch. Oh, that's a ball.
Oh, it was hot, so that's a ball.
Yep.
That puts him on second.
So the Bombers are the home team tonight, and they now have the lead, 1-0.
Yeah, the Bombers with their lull in hitting this year have still found a way to manufacture some runs in, I don't know, we could say creative ways. A lot of 56 and under pitches, a lot of bases loaded walks or hits to the head. But they all count the same on the scoreboard and in the standings. And Cam Smith is a big-time competitor, and he understands that better than anyone.
Sorry about that. Runners are actually at second and third. I'd taken the runners off, but runners at second and third with 2 outs. And this is when Cam could really step up.
Cam, another one back to the pitcher there. That's handled by Spencer, and he limits the damage, and we're going ahead to the top of the second.
Our National League division is brought to you by UCC STL. They will recover money owed to you from creditors, collect on your court judgments awarded to you and your business. Go to uccstl.com for more information. Our Season 5 All-Star Game is brought to you by Commercial Drywall Corp., a national subcontractor specializing in commercial drywall, acoustical ceilings, and finished carpentry. Having a plan is important, but finding the right partner to execute that plan in a cost-effective manner is key. Check them out at www.commercialdrywallcorp.com.
All right, we're back for the second inning of this game. Ben Doolin is going to remain on the hill. You know, he made the trip all the way out here to play for Mo WIFF. He's going to get his innings in.
Yes, definitely. We do have an inning limit restriction in Mo WIFF. Ben Doolin definitely not one of those guys that's concerned he's going to hit it. This is his first trip here for the Bombers.
He's not in any danger of hitting that unless he were able, unless he wanted to pitch double headers the remainder of the season. He wouldn't be flirting with that. John Willenbrink up now.
Top of the second inning. Doolin works quick. I like that.
Yeah, we were able to get all 5 innings in Game 1 with a couple minutes to spare on the timer. You love to see that. A new inning cannot be started after 55 minutes here at Mo WIFF, just so that we can keep the games moving for the fans and have the facility available as needed. Willenbrink takes a strike there. That one low from Ben. His future's so bright, he's got to wear shades there underneath his Karate Kid bandana. Oh, not much you can do with that. Willenbrink will have to go and take a seat.
Well, here we go. Another Brody Livingston Ben Doolin matchup, and it has been all one-sided. Even though He's only got 2 hits to show out of 5 at-bats or 6 at-bats. They've been big.
Takes a strike there. Yeah, had a home run and then an extremely deep one I think would have gone for a triple if not for a nifty play by Cam Smith.
Yeah, that was a great play by Cam. That was an all-star type play. Full sprint to his right. It's hard to pick the ball up in this wind, too.
Yeah, we have a lot of fantastic players out here in Mo WIFF, as we've been talking about. But Cam is he's something special in his own way. He's maybe the best all-around player we've got. He's a threat at the plate. He's a national caliber pitcher, a threat to win Cy Wiffle every year. He's a threat to pick up our Gold Hands Award at any time.
Yeah, on top of being the league commissioner.
Just a lot of natural athleticism out there.
Yep, and you got the weight of being the commissioner of the league. I mean, there's a lot of things you got to worry about while you're here.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of work between the scenes. He's over here at the broadcast table between every inning, helping us out while he's trying to manage his team out there on the field and get ready to bat. He's just doing a lot.
Well, if there's a need for Brody to come up big, it's going to be right here with the 1-2.
2-2 now as he wears that one without complaint, like a man. Such a man.
And that one was
that strike 3 there.
Well over 90 miles an hour.
Nasty stuff there from Ben Doolan. If he continues, he could give Cam a much-needed week off from pitching. Not to just make this the Cam Smith show, but there has been, I was looking up some stats today, and Cam in his career which is among the league leaders.
That's
and
crazy.
As a pitcher, has only given up 76.
Yeah.
He's hit more than he's allowed. The same with home runs. He's hit 29 career home runs, allowing only 17 career
That's
home
impressive.
runs.
That's
and
impressive.
that's absolutely not because of a limited time on the mound, because he leads the league in innings pitched by about 20%.
Yeah.
50 more innings than the next highest.
Yeah, Cam will stretch himself. What Ben's doing tonight, we've seen Cam do every year. Throwing back-to-back games. I saw him pitch back-to-back against the Mojo last year. He's not afraid to throw. He maxes out every year.
A ball high there to Dominic.
3-1, leadoff hitter for the Thunderbirds.
There's a strike on a great pitch.
3-2. 2 outs, 1 out away from getting out of this.
Oh, this is absolutely the kind of performance that Cam needs to save a little mileage on that arm. Dominic goes down on an awkward swing there, like he planned to put the red light on himself, but then saw that was going to be a strike.
Our Pitcher of the Week sponsor, Buffalo Wild Wings. Craving wings, beer, and nonstop sports? Get to Buffalo Wild Wings, where game day lives every day. Whether you're into blazing hot wings, icy cold drafts, or just cheering on your team with a friend, they've got you covered. Check out our friends at Buffalo Wild Wings in Wentzville, Missouri. Buffalo Wild Wings, wings, beer, sports. Our Hitter of the Week is sponsored by Lit Cigar Lounge, St. Louis's premier cigar and whiskey bar located in Chesterfield, Missouri at the District. Find them at litstl.com and go give them a follow on all social media.
1.
And you just heard that our Hitter of the Week was brought to you by Lit Cigar Lounge, a fantastic hangout if ever there was one. Our Hitter of the Week this week, or last week, coming into this week, was none other than Cole Layton, his second time winning the award already this year. It was a close race for Hitter of the Week last week, but he just edged out Dustin Hitchcock. Both had tremendous performances at the plate during their wet, rainy series last week.
So Spencer Foss right now is we're only in the second inning, but he is the pitcher of decision for the Thunderbirds, as he gave up 1 run last inning, got himself in a little bit of trouble throwing too many balls, had to pitch a 56 mile per hour under, end up walking Ethan Weiner. That's why they're down 1-0.
Yeah, his only run allowed so far this season in 12-plus innings of work. He starts off this one with a strike. Spencer pitches at a bit more of a measured pace than his counterpart, Ben Doolan, that he's pitching to right now. Not a slow worker by any means, but Ben will make you look slow from the looks of him. He really gets out there and pumps him in. low there from Spencer for a ball.
Spencer, one of the harder throwers in the league.
Right down central for a strike there. And Ben Doolin goes down looking.
Yeah, Doolin's had some pretty good swings tonight. Against Brody, put the ball in play, almost hit a home run to tie it up.
Very close, yes.
Tommy Dwyer sat the first game, and he has the only hit of the night, I think.
Yeah, I believe that's right. It's, sometimes it's hard to get at-bats in this league. The roster limit, and that one in for a strike, the roster limit on each team is 8. If you have more than 4 or 5 guys show up, it's pretty tough to get them all into the game. That one bounces for a ball. Because you want to keep the lineup as short as you can to get your hot batters up as often as possible. We have a swinging strike there. We have a minimum lineup number of 4. You do get an extra fielder if you bat 5. So most teams will bat 5 when available, but it's a bit of a disadvantage to bat more than 5. I've run into that managing the Kings myself. I know you've run into it with the Purge multiple times. Sure. You got guys that you need to get them looks so they can stay fresh, but you can't take out your hot bats either. Yep. It's a delicate balance to strike.
Yep, it's not easy.
Spencer to Ethan there, in for a strike. Ethan getting a little frustrated with himself, but he's been looking good. He's making contact. Just taking a breath, readjusting here.
He had a good at-bat last time up.
And he holds up on that one.
I know a lot of guys get frustrated with his batting style, how he kind of walks into the pitch, and there's been some borderline calls on the inside part of the plate and this and that, but it works for him.
I don't know how he does it with that footwork. I've always been a solid back foot plant kind of traditional batter myself.
I mean, you can see in this screenshot how he dives over across the plate. I mean, he's all in on those outside pitches. And it's hard to pitch him inside because he's so far up on the plate.
Yeah, he's a big presence in the plate. But,
foul ball on that one.
Oh, it's right there on the ground.
As long as you're not intentionally making body contact with pitches or stepping forward out of the box,
right.
You're still playing by the same rules as everybody else.
Well, he got hit in the head last week against you guys.
Yeah, he took one to the head. That ended up actually being the game-winning RBI in extra innings. That's those Bombers manufacturing runs any way they can get them, making smart plays. Coming into tonight, that was the Bombers' only loss. The Bombers' only loss was against the Kings, and the Kings' loss against the Bombers was in extra innings.
Yeah, that's right. You guys gave them their only loss.
Kings continuing their reputation as the giant killers. We just got to get it together against the rest of the league.
Our National League division is brought to you by UCC STL. They will recover money owed to you from creditors, collect on your court judgments awarded to you and your business. Go to uccstl.com for more information. Our Season 5 All-Star Game is brought to you by Commercial Drywall Corp., a national subcontractor specializing in commercial drywall, acoustical ceilings, and finished carpentry. Having a plan is important, but finding the right partner to execute that plan in a cost-effective manner is key. Check them out at www.commercialdrywallcorp.com. Promotional Consultants Incorporated. PCI believes that strategy and ideation are essential steps to finding the right branded merchandise, apparel, awards, and signage solutions to enhance both your promotional marketing and employee recognition. Please give them a follow and check them out at promotionalconsultants.com.
And we're back here for the top of the third. Ben Doolin going to remain out on the hill. He's been looking very good, holding a 1-0 lead over the Thunderbirds right now.
So that would put Ben Doolin at 1-1 if he wins this game on the year.
Yeah, that'd be huge. Not like his one loss was a bad performance either, giving up one solo shot. That's kind of the template for how games go in this league.
Sure. Let's go, guys. Get things going here as Captain Brian Hunter steps in.
Brian Hunter, one of our absolute forces behind the scenes here, and also not to be sneezed at out on the field as he takes ball one there a little low and out. Brian trying to take a really good disciplined at bat here, knowing that you need base runners to win the game. But he's an absolute power threat there. He has a tight, compact swing. It's an interesting factor in wiffle ball. Since it's a fixed strike zone, everybody's got the same strike zone. Brian is, how shall we say, an inch or two shorter than average.
Yeah.
So the strike zone looks a little different from here for him. It goes more like thighs to collarbones with his stance. Takes another ball.
Now, Brian had some big home runs for us last year. He was a part of our team, the Purge, last season. And opening day, I'll never forget our very first game as the Purge. Brian had the winning home run into the wind.
Yeah, he has a couple of gigantic postseason home runs as well.
For sure.
Takes that one for a strike. But he makes his compact frame work for him. It makes his swing work with his body type. It's interesting to see guys up there with different body types. We have some extremely tall guys who have to then contend with the strike zone being low. A couple guys like myself who are a little bit shorter than average have to deal with the strike zone being a little different. But you get somebody like Pat Ballman up there,
yes,
and he's taking a strike off his shoelaces almost on the low end of the zone.
Well, here we go. I think Spencer Foss is hitless on the year, but he's definitely got a type of bat that can get you.
Spence is hitless on the year, but come to think of it, every single team has at least one hitless player. And I'm not talking guys who were only able to come like one game. Good, dependable players who have just been shut out by the hot pitching on the year.
Yeah, Caleb Schweigert on the Purge on our team hasn't gotten a hit yet this year. How about for you guys?
Nick Bone is hitless.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
He's only been able to participate in a handful of games, but he's typically one of our more dependable
That's a bad at-bat.
On-base guys.
He's going to wish he had that at-bat back.
Yeah, you hate to see that from Spencer. Frustration maybe setting in a little bit,
Yep.
being down 1-0 and
Yep.
not having gotten it done at the plate so far this year.
Yeah, when man on second, nobody out, got a little better at-bat would have been nice.
Especially with Ben having trying to throw both games here.
Yeah.
You want to work the count a little bit.
Yep. Oh, look at this.
Willenbrink there with that one floated out for a double, I believe. It did not make contact with the
We're
ground.
going to have to get that verified. Ethan. Hey, Brody. Find out if that's a double or a single for us, will you?
Yeah, we got that confirmed. That's what it looked like from here, that floated its way into the outfield without ever making contact with the ground. That's going to be an RBI double for John Willenbrink. And that's what you need, not to disparage Willenbrink, but he's not the star player of the T-Birds for this year. He's one of your support guys. And when you're getting like your fourth liners going, to use a hockey term, that's when you're going to go far in any league.
Yeah, that's a tough at bat. Willenbrink, great job.
Yeah, when you get guys like John Willenbrink going, that's when you have no holes in your lineup, and it opens it up for the hot bats like Livingston. There's a lot of protection for them.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, this is a tough spot for Ben Doolin. You're tied. You've got one of the hottest hitters up at the plate.
Yeah, a guy that's been all over you all night.
All over you all night. That's exactly right. 3-1 count. He knows it too. I mean, he's working fast still.
4-1 there.
Now, again, we talked about this. You have to give credit to a guy who has, I wouldn't say has struggled all year, but he hasn't been one of the better hitters this year in Willenbrink coming through with that big double. They needed that.
Oh, yeah, that's huge.
There's a double walk.
John's one that you can depend on to have that kind of performance and make sure that your team, like we said, has no holes in that lineup. So there's a double walk. We're going to have second and third.
One out.
With only one out now. Dominic Satrowski at the plate. And he's an absolute threat. Needs to take a good at-bat here as he swings at the first one.
This is where you got to have patience, fellas.
That was a tough pitch there. Not much to do with it.
Yep. 0-2. These younger guys are trying to figure it out against this veteran pitcher. Good take.
A very disciplined at-bat from young Dominic Satrowski. Only 21 years of age, I believe. Low there from Ben.
I mean, Doolin's not wasting any time on the mound.
Need to get confirmation from Ben, but he's definitely a veteran pitcher, and he is somewhere between 17 and 36 years old. I haven't got confirmation on that.
We talked about that earlier. That's right.
Ooh, big swing from Dom, and that's going to drop foul. Alex Barrich on his horse, trying to get that when the wind brings it to in a safer direction here over by the broadcast booth.
Well, this has been a good at bat. He's taken the pitches he needed to take. And looky here. He's going to have to pitch to Dom. And it's going to be hard to find a better 56-mile-per-hour hitter than this guy right here. He lived off that last year. He hit a grand slam off us in extra innings. This is dangerous.
Oh, absolutely.
Dangerous. At the very least, if Dom can work a walk, they're going to have a 2-1 lead at the least.
Nifty little pitch there.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
Little submarine stuff there. That one 54 miles an hour, flirting with the speed limit. That one high for number 3. Payoff pitch here. The 4th, 56 and under. That one sails high. An RBI double walk for Dominic. And just like that, the T-Birds take the lead. And you got Spencer Foss out there who's going to be looking to make it stand up. 14 minutes to go on the timer in this one.
We're only in the top of the third.
Yeah, the Bombers
You've got to
are the home
figure
half.
Doolin's getting tired. I feel for the guy. He's pitched great tonight. I'll be absolutely shocked if he ends up getting 2 losses here this evening. But he is having trouble finding the strike zone, and that's a recipe for disaster.
That's got one right on the edge. It's so hard to get anything with those low pitches. I can tell you folks from experience that those ones on the low edge of the strike zone, they look like they're going to hit you in the toe. It is hard to make your mind up to swing at one of those.
1-2 count here on Brian Hunter, the captain.
Little wiffle ball science for you. Oh, Brian hits one right back to the pitcher. And Ben will pick that one up and handle it himself. So in baseball, in hardball, they have a pitch that they call a rising fastball, but it doesn't rise. It just doesn't fall as quickly as a normal baseball would. Mm-hmm. So it kind of tricks your brain a little bit.
Yep.
In wiffle ball, you can actually make the ball rise.
Yes.
It's not even, it's not even the hardest pitch to throw is the riser.
That's been his best swing of the night right there.
Yeah, that was a good swing by Spencer. And that messes up your brain to try to account for a rising pitch like that one had some rise at the end.
It just doesn't drop. I watched that same documentary. It just doesn't drop as fast. They call it a riser in baseball. It just doesn't drop as fast because they're throwing it hard. But, yeah, that's interesting. And I didn't know that until I watched it. Was that a ball?
Yeah,
strike 3.
That's strike 3.
Yeah, Spencer's having a tough time at the plate. That's going to end the inning. After 2 1/3 innings, we go to the bottom of the 3rd, and the Bombers trail the Thunderbirds in Game 2 here, 2-1.
The Hitting Zone, located in O'Fallon, Missouri, over off Hoff Industrial Drive. Check them out at thehittingzone.com. Gametime Tournaments, locally family-owned and operated baseball and softball tournaments. Play at your team's skill level with no additional fees or charges and flexible scheduling. Go to playgametimestl.com for more information. Our American League division is brought to you by Alex Eggert Photography. Looking to freeze those unforgettable moments in time? Look no further than Alex Eggert Photography. Whether you're scoring the winning goal, celebrating family milestones, or embracing your senior year, we've got you covered. Book your session today and make every moment click.
All right, here we are ready for the bottom of the 3rd. The Bombers are going to be the home half of the 3rd. 11 minutes to go on the timer, so it is likely we will see a 4th inning.
Cam Smith home run, first of the year.
It would be Cam's first hit of the year, and it would tie it up. Those are the kind of drama storylines that you live for in this game.
It is. Could we see it?
Takes that one low for a ball. That one a low strike. Yeah, one of these times a pitcher is going to think that Cam just doesn't have it this year, and they're going to pay for it, and it's going to get him going.
That's right.
Because the score sheet.
The wind held it up.
As I was just about to say, the score sheet for Cam does not tell the whole story because that one could have easily been out on a less windy night. I almost
called that, didn't I?
Yeah. That was the hardest hit infield fly ball I think I've ever seen.
Yep. Yeah, he hit the heck out of that.
Ooh, Ben right on that one.
Yeah, these guys are starting to catch up to Spence. I don't feel like Spencer's throwing as hard tonight as he usually does.
Solid contact there.
I mean, compliments to Ben Doolin. Ben Doolin has actually hit well tonight against some hard pitching, too.
Oh,
not just pitched well.
That foul ball there sends Mo Wiff's official photographer, Alex Eggert, diving for cover.
Just so we're clear, I mean, the wind is blowing in about 20 miles an hour from right field. So to hit a ball out of right field would be almost impossible.
Oh, yeah, now. That'll slow you up in softball.
Yeah,
much less with a wiffle ball.
I mean, that ball was caught almost on the infield. 3-2.
Ben means business here. He took his sunglasses off.
Spencer Foss looking to pick up his third win in the year. Is that right?
Yeah,
I know he's
so.
2-0.
Look up the stats. I got them on paper because I don't trust the internet out here. I don't want to use up any of our internets that we're using to come to you folks.
Full count.
So yeah, Spencer Foss is 2-0.
Looking to get his third win, and that would tie him with the league lead. I think 3 wins is the most in the league.
Ooh,
Ben Doolin is not giving in here.
He is dueling, we would say. Ha!
Yep. 82-mile-per-hour screwball.
I'll see myself out.
I tell you, they're flirting with fire. I'll be serious. See that ball sitting there, folks, in play. If a ball hits that ball, they're picking it up now. That's an automatic hit.
Yep.
And we had a game early in the year. We were part of it where a ball did hit another ball. We just didn't catch it. And had we caught it, it would have been a game changer. So just got to be careful with that. So that puts a runner on second base.
Yeah, the double walk there to Ben, a very, very hard fought at bat for him.
1 out here.
Big swing by Tommy. Fouls one back into the zone for a strike.
Now Tommy's had a good couple swings here tonight. He's had the base hit. He looked good in his other bat.
Well, yeah, Tommy's always a threat when he's up at the plate.
Anytime he's up, he's a threat for a home run.
And doesn't he just look like a ball player?
He does.
I love that classic batting stance he has, too.
Yep. I think that nipped it.
He plays way forward in the box, too. Taking every advantage he can get.
Yeah. He's got a long swing, quick swing, but he can change things in a hurry for you, and the Bombers are one swing away.
Ooh. Spencer gets him on that one. Both teams here, despite the low scoring, both teams have been very much on the ball. We're a couple of lucky breaks away from seeing like 6-4 scores instead of 1-0, 2-1 games.
The bottom of the third inning here, and the Bombers trail 2-1.
2 out here to Ethan Weiner. Ethan foul there. Took just a little bit too much time. That's the danger when you're already, the kind of player who pushes to the opposite field, is if you're late at all, there's no room.
What'd they call that?
Check swing for a strike there. Strike 2.
Overview of the field here at Miracle Field. Catch 22 Miracle Field. Beautiful place to play here in Chesterfield, Missouri.
We appreciate that that wide angle view.
All right. It's kind of like in the car. Aerial coverage brought to you by.
Jason Worstenholm put that that camera up on the fence. They put it up upside down, so we had to get up and do it again.
Oh, no. And that is a strikeout. And that's inning ending. Everybody's kind of standing around like they don't know what to do, but that is strike three, and we're just kind of seeing what's going on here as we go into, we're heading into the top of the fourth inning.
Spencer giving his competitor pitching tips there or something.
We're going to pause here for a word with our
MO WIFF is brought to you by Audi Exchange in Kirkwood. They offer an extensive range of both new and pre-owned vehicles, ensuring that every customer finds a perfect car to fit their needs. In addition to their diverse inventory, they are committed to top-notch vehicle care and excellent maintenance. Call them today at 314-270-1165. Our American League division is brought to you by Alex Eggert Photography. Looking to freeze those unforgettable moments in time? Look no further than Alex Eggert Photography. Whether you're scoring the winning goal, celebrating family milestones, or embracing your senior year, we've got you covered. Book your session today and make every moment click. Our hitter of the week is sponsored by Lit Cigar Lounge, St. Louis's premier cigar and whiskey bar located in Chesterfield, Missouri at the District. Find them at litstl.com and go give them a follow on all social media.
Here we go.
All right, we're here ready now for the top of the fourth inning. We have 4 minutes to go on the timer, so this will be your last inning, borrowing some kind of incredible speed wiffle ball. Or a tie, of course. We could see a dramatic extra innings. We've been seeing a lot of that this year as Willenbrink swings at one inside for strike one.
Ball's kind of flying on Doolin right now. He's just getting a little tired. Velocity's dropped a little bit.
Yeah, between innings, he was having a chat with Captain Cam Smith, just making sure that he was ready to go for this fourth inning. But he's a hard competitor. You know, he wants the ball if he's physically able to take it. Ball there, 1-2 now to John. That one low. That pitch there is a great example of how just a fraction of a second on your release point makes all the difference. These ones that you see bouncing in the dirt, like in front of the box, they're not bad pitches. That's just how much precision that you need to make good wiffle ball pitches, and that's going to be a strikeout there to Willenbrink, bring up the evening's most dangerous hitter in Mr. Livingston. So he quickly takes a strike there, or swings at one. Ball out. The ball's still getting pretty good velocity from Mr. Doolin, even though he's getting a bit tired. Foul away there for Brody. Thunderbirds leading 2-1. Would love to get some insurance runs for Spencer Foss if they can get him. He's looked real good tonight. But against this Bombers lineup, you never know when they're going to come alive. The whole league has been holding their breath waiting for it, I think. Similarly, our next matchups that you're going to be able to catch on YouTube Saturday night and Sunday, we're going to have the Melonheads and the Mojo. That's going to be a couple teams that we're also
Did he take a single walk or?
Hey, Ethan.
Ethan was. I think he took a double walk.
We've moved the broadcast booth back into the dugout, which is a big advantage for keeping the equipment safe, but does make it a little bit harder to keep up with some of the decisions being made on the field. But we believe that was a double walk taken there by Livingston.
Yeah, Cam just informed manager Brian Hunter to tell his batter to stay in the batter's box next time or it'll be a single walk. I mean, rules are rules.
The commish does love to put his foot down from time to time.
Yes, he does. Or as the young guy likes to flex a little bit.
Yeah.
2-2. So the Bombers will get another look at things here as they trail 2-1 if they can get out of this. There's strike 3.
Dom goes down on strikes. That's going to bring up Brian Hunter to see if he can get that extra run for him. The man on second and 2 out.
2 away here. Bottom or top of the 4th. Ben Doolin's from down south, correct?
Yeah, I believe he made his way here from Florida for this game.
We are in Missouri, folks. Just so you're clear.
Yeah, we don't call it Mo Wiff for fun.
We have the first matchup of the night. Brody Livingston, who moved here from Arizona area.
Yeah, Brody's been going to school out in Arizona. I believe that's where he's from also.
And a pitcher from Florida, and Ben Doolin. That's how Mo Wiff has gotten to. That's the place Mo Wiff has gotten to in the last few years.
Yeah, we have guys coming in from basically all over the country. I believe the Livingstons are the furthest west we've gotten. We don't have any California Wifflers just yet.
We don't, but we do have Ethan Weiner coming from Boston area.
There is a good wiffle ball scene out in California. Back in the 90s, I was well acquainted with a lot of the California Wifflers. They continue to have a big presence out there today.
That's going to do it. We're going to keep it with us, though, as we go into the bottom of the 4th inning. We'll just talk a little bit. I see Ken's got some stats and stuff here he could go over. Or actually, you know what? This would be a good chance for us to show you our weekly programming schedule. So after tonight, if you didn't get a chance to catch these live, we will replay these games. So starting off on Monday, we always have Fastpitch, where they'll go over the week's games, Thursday night's games, all 4 games. And then we have our 3 Up and 3 Down podcast with Brian Hunter, the captain of the Thunderbirds, along with Quentin Meyer from the Mojo. Have a wonderful podcast that talk about every week's pluses and minuses and hitters of the week, pitcher of the week, all that stuff. And then we have a new show on Wednesdays. It's 56 and Under with Sam Skibby. Interesting show. Have you had a chance to catch it?
Yeah, I listen to 56 and Under every Wednesday afternoon. I rarely am able to catch it live just because of the internet quality in my office, but I'm usually able to get the replay later in the afternoon.
And here we are on Thursdays. You got Twitch, live on Twitch and YouTube, game day. Fridays is replay day. Now, so if you didn't catch it, you might be watching this game. It might be Friday. If it is, it's the replay of Game 1. And then tomorrow night, which would be Saturday, we have 2 games. And then Sunday, 1 game is the final game of the evening. So every single day of the week, we have something.
So this game is coming at you on Saturday night for the replay.
Saturday night. That's right.
Saturday, Game 1. So we take we're ready to go here in the bottom of the 4th. Cam Smith takes the first one. I believe that was a ball low.
It was. Clear the bases there.
Cam swings at that one.
They're going to have to pull the ball to hit one out. Even though the wind's died, that anything hit out of this park is going to go to center or left, in my opinion.
The air is incredibly heavy out here this evening as well.
Well, the first one must have been a strike because they're calling that a strikeout.
Yeah, it was flirting with the bottom of the strike zone. I couldn't really tell from here, and I didn't hear the call.
And that was a nice, quick pitch from Spencer Foss. So considering this guy has, 1.5 years experience, he's awful veteran-like on the mound.
Oh, yeah, he's so calm and collected. He throws smart pitches. Dude, that's something that is sometimes lost. You know, you'll hear veteran guys or alumni like my own pitching coach, Darren Bone, will say that some guys are throwers, they're not pitchers. Spencer Foss is a pitcher.
Yeah, for sure. And he picked it up pretty quick. And here he is this year looking to be 3-0 if they can hold on. You do got to be careful here. This Ben Doolin has been on pitches all night, and he definitely has the kind of bat to tie games up. Walked in his last at bat, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I believe that's right. I normally keep score on paper here, so I'd be able to look that up, but I've not been doing a good job of it this game.
So this Thunderbirds team was the second-ranked power ranking team in the league to start off the season. purely on the thought of Brody Livingston coming in town, one of the main reasons. And then they've slipped and are lower now at this point. They're fourth. There's ball 4. So because of a little bit of a tough start, they are going to find themselves right back in the mix with a sweep tonight if they can hold on. But there's ball 5, and they're going to put him on second. And just when you thought this one may be over, Ken.
The winning run now at the plate in the form of Tommy Dwyer.
Yeah, I mean, this
one out.
This game could be won right here. This could be a true walk-off home run. Or we saw Willenbrink hit a floater down the right field line that carried and landed in the green. And that's what's given the Thunderbirds their lead tonight, is that hit.
Yeah, that was just a lot of backspin on that ball to float it out to second base. It never got higher than about 5 feet off the ground.
Ball 1. Tommy Dwyer, if I'm correct, unless he's walked tonight, does not have a walk on the season. And that's important here because we are deep into the year. This is a huge at-bat, and Tommy Dwyer has not walked, unless he walked tonight, has not walked this year.
Yeah, coming into tonight, he did not have a walk, and he was batting
Look at that stat. Look at that stat I pulled out. That's deep right there. But I just remember, and here you are, you got a struggling pitcher, got to pick the right ones to swing at. You got a 2-0 count. He did swing at a strike right there. It's 2-1. But this at-bat sets up the next one.
Oh, and the camera that runs, or the phone that runs the scoreboard has locked, and apparently it doesn't think I am Cam Smith. It's trying to face ID me.
Oh, no.
We'll have to get him to come fix that.
Yep. Well, we have a 2-2 count now. This at-bat has swung back into Spencer Foss's favor.
Now, you got a couple of big-time stat heads calling these games for you this evening. Oh, fly ball there for Tommy. Just barely got under that one. It's gobbled up by Dominic Satrowski. Bombers now down to their final out.
Here we go. One of the better hitters on the Bombers. He's the best hitter on the Bombers statistically.
Yeah, Ethan Weiner hitting 143 on the year with a 478 on base percentage. That is outstanding.
If you don't pitch to him here, which I'm not going to say, well, that's a great pitch. I'm not going to say that you should or shouldn't, but the next guy hits you awful hard 2 at-bats ago.
Oh, it's once again,
Oh, that's nasty.
Just because Cam has not been getting hits so far this year does not mean he's not a huge threat. You don't pitch around guys to get to Cam Smith no matter what he's been looking like lately.
No, and I know no one's going to want to hear this, but this Bombers team has kind of been exposed a little bit with the bats again tonight. If the Thunderbirds sweep, that's going to have to be their biggest nemesis, as they haven't hit the ball well enough to win.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Their runs have come from, the run manufacturing, the Whitey ball method.
That's right.
Now, that is a tough way to get runs in this game, in this league.
It is. And that, they were probably going to be, if they could have pulled something out tonight, if they could have even split tonight, you could have made a justification that this is probably the number one team in the power rankings.
Brian Flash Hunter there charging past the broadcast booth to pick up that foul ball.
But do you agree or disagree? If they would have split tonight, they probably make a push to be the number one team in the power rankings. With a sweep tonight by the Thunderbirds, you got to really question the at-bats.
Yeah, the 1-2 combo of Smith and Doolin on the hill is, it's awfully tempting to say that they're unbeatable, but not when as a team they're batting, I believe they were batting .056 coming into tonight.
Well, that's a big at-bat because now you're going to have second and third. And just like we said, and he had him down 1-2. But, yeah, I mean, this was real disheartening. If they can come through here, which, man, it would be huge with 2 outs if the Bombers can pick up a win somehow right here. It wasn't close on that one. But if they can, then we got a different conversation. But right now the way the conversation is the Bombers have got to go back to the drawing board and figure some things out with the bats.
Now, there's no place to put Cam Smith, but it's tempting to try to nibble him around the edges here.
We would have an interesting situation on our hands if they walk him here and he has to choose, because I don't know if you give him a chance to beat you. You may walk the tying run in.
And he's up there wanting to swing. He's a disciplined, smart hitter.
Yeah.
but he's wanting to make something happen for his team here.
Well, if you're Spencer, you can't take much off the pitch. Oh, no.
He's got him chasing a couple there that he should not have swung at.
Yep.
And that's sometimes what happens when the pressure is on. You're in a bit of a slump.
Spencer Foss looking to go 3-0.
He got him. Huge performance from Spencer Foss here. The Thunderbirds sweep, take both games from the Bombers in very, very close games. So the Thunderbirds are going to take this one 2-1 in 4 innings. Thank you, everybody, for watching. For Tom, I am Ken Bone, and catch you next game.